Hey Vespa fam, this is Liz, Vespa Mom, and I cannot wait to share the big news that happened in the Vespa Mom house last week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bruno, the latest member of the Vespa Mom household. I acquired Bruno early last week, and there's a bit of a story that goes along with picking him up and bringing him home and the whole process. So I'm going to take him for a ride. I'm going to share with you how this all came to be and why I am so excited for future videos.
So I've been thinking for a while now that I have really fallen in love with riding a Vespa for kind of everyday life. And I've had so much fun with my Primavera. So Roxy, is my red Primavera, is a great suburban companion. She's my errand runner, my quick trips. She's kind of light and pretty, sweet, and easy to ride. I love how nimble she is, maneuverable she is. I have thoroughly enjoyed, continue to enjoy riding that Primavera. However, I have really been thinking about being able to do some more touring. So I love traveling by Vespa, and there's quite a bit around the southern Ohio area that I think would be amazing to see. You know, different great roads to ride within just a couple of hours of here. So I started considering pretty seriously getting something a little bit bigger. So it was just kind of on the back burner of my mind. And I've actually never stopped looking at listings for used Vespas in my area. Most of the time I don't see anything worthy of my attention. But about a month ago, this GTV pops up. So Bruno is a 2016 Vespa GTV. So a GTS and a GTV are very similar. The GTV has this vintage style about it. It's kind of a throwback to the racing Vespas of the 50s and 60s. So it has the headlight on the front wheel instead of up high. It also has a very old school analog system here at the front, analog dash, I should say. So rolling numbers for the odometer, just an old school looking thing. It also has exposed handlebars instead of the covered ones that the other Vespas have. It has kind of these chrome look. It almost looks motorcycle-like in the front. And so when I saw this Vespa, I was like, wow, that's cool. What I loved about it is that while it was still a Vespa, it was different enough in look and performance from what I already had that it doesn't feel so much like just a bigger copy of my Primavera. So my husband helped me name him. We decided to name him Bruno because he's really much more of a beast. The Vespa 300s are quick little vehicles. And when I first did a little test ride, I didn't even go on a very fast road. I took one twist of this throttle and I thought to myself, wow, this is very different. So I really, honestly, I kind of test drove it on whim. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. It was really listed for a very good price. A little bit older, so it's a 10-year-old Vespa, but it was really in very good shape. I did need to replace the tires. The tires were pretty old. Everything else, though, is very sound. It came with the crash bars. It came with the top case, a Vespa top case, which those are good upgrades. So anyway, I kind of had everything I was looking for, and somehow I went from owning one Vespa to owning two Vespas. Owning one Vespa was a dream. I don't even know how to describe what it's like to own two Vespas. And my goodness, do they look pretty next to each other in my garage. So I am very excited for this summer, for riding season, because I have big plans to do some touring. So I'm going to start a Scootering the Small Towns series, and I'm going to take some back roads, check out some of the smaller towns in this area. Ohio is very old. It's a lot of early settlements happened along the Ohio River in the history of the United States. So there are some areas that are really very rich in history. There are also very beautiful areas that aren't far from here. In the town of Athens, Ohio, there is a series of motorcycle routes. It's called Ohio's Windy Nine, and they all started in Athens. Athens is a good 3 hours for me, avoiding interstates, which of course I would. And I'm really considering this fall taking a few days and doing a little solo trip out to Athens and riding some of those roads. But between now and then, I plan to do day trips, 1 hour to 2 hours from my house, scenic rides with destinations in some of the quaint small towns within a couple hours of Cincinnati. So I am very excited about that. I think this is going to be a great summer, and I'm looking forward to the adventures that Bruno and I will enjoy. Roxy is still going to get most of my attention when it comes to the short trips around town, which is really most of my life. But Bruno's going to take me on the long haul. I love the way Bruno handles. He feels so much more powerful. Everybody said I would want something bigger, and I am embarrassed in some ways to admit how right they were. But that's okay. That's all right. I will gladly admit I'm wrong. It means I get to enjoy riding Bruno for a while. I would love to know your thoughts. Did you kind of suspect that this was going to happen eventually with me? Because apparently a lot of people did. They weren't terribly surprised. What do you think of the one I found, the one I picked? Not everyone cares for the GTV style. I agree that it's different. It's got a different look about it. I like that it's a little less common. And I like that it seems to acknowledge the long history of Vespa throughout the years with the throwback design. So anyway, life is good. It's hard to not be happy. The situation I'm in right now. So I'm excited to share it with all of you. If any of you live in the Southwest Ohio area and want to meet up for a ride sometime, please reach out to me. You can get my email address in the description of this channel. I would absolutely love the opportunity to meet some of you and go on some rides together. And now I can go, and we'll go a lot farther.